Hello everybody, and welcome to another Total Annihilation replay. Today I've got some more ProTA play going on right here between everybody's favorite Nick from Down Under, Coolnick, and Mr. Timmyfred himself. And we are playing out of Timmy's element here, because you can see there, Timmy says, Nick picks a choke map. That is right. Nick has picked the Gauntlet, which sounds like you'd be running a gauntlet to attack your opponent, which you actually have to do. There's a wide, kind of Great Divide-like pass here. Now, this is wide enough that there's enough space to run through on both sides of it, but it's still more narrow than this if this were all open. So there's kind of a easier way to defend yourself. This is a solar map. And I wish I could give credit. I forgot to actually look up who made this map originally. This is in the V pack, so if you haven't downloaded the gigantic V map pack, make sure you do that because these maps are fun to play. They're also fun to play if you're playing against AIs too. So that will if you just play single player by yourself, this is kind of the fun thing because AI will just build tons of units and try and shove them down your throat. Right down here, down this pass, and you can create a meat grinder and even play tower defense TA if you wanted to. So you can see Timmyfred's taking a long walk right here because it's a solar map. He's not anticipating air first, so he walks 3 mexes, 3 solars, and builds his plant. You can see Nick's done a mix here. He's built wind and solar. You know what? Let's just take a look while we're here, and we will see what wind produces. We'll go ahead and crank this up while these guys do their starting build order. 12, 17, that's actually pretty good. We'll see what it drops to. 14, yeah, wind is actually more worthwhile. The way it works in OTA and in ProTA, and you can see wind, Nick says wind is kind of okay, actually. Timmy says, oh, what a dick. Because Timmy's already sunk 3 solars worth right there. And Nick only dropped 2 solars. So yeah, winds actually is worthwhile on this map. Scratch what I said earlier, some kind of expert I am. Although these are newer maps, I didn't play these as much back in the day. So Nick going all cons. Timmy representing core is cranking out some weasels to do some fast early raiding. He's got a single con out, but Nick is already on 4. Whenever you're on these big maps where things are far apart from each other, you know it's going to take a while for your opponent to get to you. Building is a good idea, and building a lot of cons to try and take that territory and cap resources as fast as possible. I do like Timmyfred's look here, though, and going with all these weasels up the middle pretty quick. See, he's walked his commander to cap mexes while he's kept a con back here to help continually produce cons. This is almost like a metal map in how good the metal resources are here. You can see there's geos set up. This map is commonly played in the big team games, and so each of the 4 players on each team would get a geo, or each of the 5 players would get a geo to themselves. Nick's already got some flashes out by the time the weasels show up. You can see though he is a little bit lacking in the radar department up here, and so he's quickly building it up. And it looks like Timmyfred's weasel, I don't know if he has shoot all on. Doesn't get away with anything there. There he goes. Here we go. And the weasel raid pays off. He gets 1 mex. 2. Nick doesn't see it in time. He gets 3. And that weasel lives. So Timmyfred, nice little raiding. Again, this is not the Timmyfred style of map. Timmy likes to play open, medium-sized maps where he can just send units at you from all directions. So we'll see here though if he's got his big builder pants on here. Nick, second lab up and running. Timmy also second one up. So at this point, they are basically keeping pace. The commander expansion seems to have done a little bit better. Plus the raiding on Timmy's side. He is a little bit ahead on metal production at this point. You can see how Nick is automatically going down into here. He's kind of trying to skirt around anything that Timmy might have here in the choke. Timmy does know about it since he's got his radar up in the middle. And so he's going to be Nick's trying to do a little bit of raiding on himself. He doesn't find anything on the metal patches. Nick is already starting farming winds. So one of the things they have a lot down there in Australia is wind. So it is in Nick's blood. to build this many wind farms. And he intends just to take that energy and translate that into metal. I don't know if I like that this early in the game, especially since there's so many metal spots that still need to be capped. Also, he hasn't really secured this middle yet. You can see he's kind of got the left side secure. That'll stop basic raiding, but that's not going to stop a serious attack. Timmyfred just cranking out the gators at this point. You can see, now with the hotkey, it's easier than ever just to nano block. It looks like he actually trapped that flash inside that. It blows up, doesn't leave a wreck. And the Gator Force misses the three flashes coming in. That might actually end up being a little bit painful for Nick. I mean, painful for Timmy. He doesn't see it. Khan runs right into the happy maw of the flash, and down it goes. Timmy returning the favor with some raiding of his own. It cuts through the unprotected side. You see Timmy's done the same thing here. He's got that protected with missile towers. And so he is able to come in and clear out the metal extractors yet again. A single flash on Timmy's side is doing more or less the same work. Timmy's still building solars for some reason. It's fair game now. Nick's already told him that that wins are good. Yeah, although I really don't know if the win value justifies these massive wind farms, but on a map like this where Nick is planning on being able to choke up this middle, it's probably not a bad idea actually to start the farm at this point. Again, he slips the instigators by. I don't know, if I were Nick, I probably would have pushed those flashes to the right side. Still, only one radar, and that's up on the left side. He doesn't have anything on the right. Now, this still covers over to here, but you want to know about those flashes, the instigators coming in, when they're down here. You don't want to know them when they're already ready to turn the corner. Is Timmy trying to move in here and cap this off? Timmy gets a con. Nice. Still raiding with the gators. Nick doing the same thing. You can see he's also bagged a con down here. This is all just big building mode. Timmy's got that idle con going. Cranking out more cons. That is just my silly commander not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Nice job by Timmy. Nice little raid. You can see clear out all those metal extractors. And is also taking out the wind farm. So you can see that Nick is already farming up the winds. 19k metal to Timmyfred. He's up by 1k on Nick right now. Nick's 4 factories, all producing flashes. Just starting to get his wind production going there with the metal makers. But he's missing the metal extractors over here. There's Timmy's got his mid ones. No, he doesn't have his capped yet either. Although he's now finally got some missile towers down. That'll provide a little bit of raid protection from what Nick was sending in. Nick was only doing a few flashes at a time. Now he's starting to put pressure up here in the middle. 3 factories. And Timmy's already going advanced. So that's the one thing. If you know you can protect your middle, an early advance can really help you out. Nick's still just Tay1, cranking out tons of wins. Especially with Mohos being efficient in ProTA. Getting your Mohos up fast is a smart way to go. It's a good way to build up your economy. Timmyfred still looks like he's a little shy on energy. He's running off his solars at this point, although he's getting geos up. Just like in OTA, geos are the most efficient energy source in the game. Stumpies are not that great against instigators. They soak a lot of damage, and he has flashes to actually put out a little damage, so we'll see how this actually works. See Timmy split up his groups into 2. Nice job by Timmy right there. Bags a con. Pushes back the Stumpies. Nick is also a big fan of Stumpies. All day, every day Stumpy. See Nick really kind of on his back foot right here. He wants to protect his investment, and his investment is wins. Nick going advanced now too, but Timmy's already had his for a little while. He's already got his first advanced con out. And the guns fall silent. And this is pretty much exactly what Nick wants. If he's going to build tons of wins, he wants the pressure off. Timmy's able to creep up into the middle here. You can see he's a little bit further down there. Plus, he's got the resources in the middle. Currently, Timmyfred showing at 45, stalling on E. And Nick showing it in the 90s, but also stalling on E. So I'm not exactly sure where everybody's at this point. I think at this point, Nick has probably taken charge of the resource production. In fact, he has. He's up by 2. Basically because of that string right there. Timmyfred doesn't have an equivalent, but he does have his entire side capped now. So does Nick. So just on building, you can see what Timmyfred cranking out some levelers. Those are excellent against flashes and stumpies. You can see the gators just pushing the stumpies back. They are tankier, but they're better against missile units, missile towers, that sort of thing. You can see Timmyfred, he's got his first moho capped right there. And you can see Nick is doing the same. So you do have a fancy self-destruct in ProTA where it's just a 0-second delay. If you press Control-D on a metal extractor, it will blow up right away for you. So the downside is if you accidentally select all of your metal extractors and blow them up, you've just lost the game. So just be careful when you're using that you're only picking the one you intend to take care of. Timmyfred putting out some raiders of his own. Again, they're great at soaking damage. Levelers are powerful, good AoE strong attack, short range, decent speed. But the Stumpies and Raiders, they can just soak more damage. So it's good to mix those in there. You can see what he's doing. He's got 2 cons and he's replacing his metal extractors one at a time. You see Nick doing the same. He still doesn't have one up down here. Timmyfred in the 70s and metal Nick, though, in the 90s at this point. And it looks like his gator push on the right side is paying dividends. He has broken through. Nick all the way back to his entrance. Again, still just wasn't able to secure the corner over there. Timmyfred attack stops for what might be a critical second. And he comes back too. He gonna get a Geo first trouble. Down that goes. And then the Gators are swallowed up. Level of force, mixed force of just tanks right here in the middle. Timmyfred again, just better on the territory control than Nick at this point. But Nick says, I don't need territory, I have wins. He's building energy storage. When you have highly variable winds and a massive wind farm, that is something that's good to do. It will enable you to better avoid stalling on energy. So you can see Nick's energy right here, near close to 3,000 versus Timmy only 1,300. He's running solely off of geos and using his energy for the sake of energy, and he is using his he's using his energy for the sake of energy and not using it to make metal. Timmy having to retreat right there against a massive Stumpy Horde and a Panther too. It looks like Nick is pushed out a few of those. But the Gators are going up the right side while the Levelers are hunkered down here on the left. Single Leveler coming through there right there. That's going to be some nice damage. Timmy takes a turn into the forces. I don't know if I necessarily like that call, though he's still got some stuff going up to clear on the right. Again, this distance is really kind of working in Nick's favor. The fact that Timmy's got to drive so far to actually get his attack going. Speed up here. Nick's massive Stumpy army with some Panthers mixed in there too. Those are technically the Leveler equivalent. They do have dual missiles, dual weapons. They've got the missile and the laser, and they're pretty quick. So they're a nice all-purpose generalist tank. Mixed with Stumpies too, they're going to be pretty good at taking down Timmy's missile tower forest. A lot of pressure on Nick there. Timmy putting up a Viper right in the middle, but Nick just drives around it. Timmy putting out some Reapers. Slower, tougher, heavier hitting. There you go, Reaper comes up. You see, and shoots it pretty fast. It's shorter range than an HLT. Tougher, And he's got a Dragon's Teeth, so that's actually going to do a decent job of protecting this section right there. Weaken them. The stuff that gets by can get eaten by the missile towers. Timmy defending himself with the levelers. And Nick turns around. Instead of continuing through, he runs right back into Timmy's tanks. And Timmy's tanks do what they were designed to do. See, the economies are going back right here. You can see Timmy one at a time, replacing Moho metal extractors. Whereas Nick was doing more than one at a time. You can see, and that has really kind of paid off for him, as he is even replacing his lower producing ones at this point. And his economy has really surged as a result. It's not even really the energy and the winds, it's the fact that he has more Mohos capped. Timmy, though, is running a force, once again, through that weak right side. Just going to say, this is kind of a choke map, but it's pretty wide. You actually have to work at securing the side. You can't just count on, being like, oh, well, it's a choke, so I put up a few defenses and it's going to be covered. Timmy this time keeps him running. Nick's trying to chase him down with stumpies, but these units are just going to be faster. And Geo goes down again. And Timmy goes through, and he's going to be able to take out that metal, but that metal is probably not going to be enough to bring Timmy back into the game unless he really gets these Mohos going. Got a decent mixed force of tanks right here in the middle. But that is just too many stumpies. This many stumpies, it should be criminal. Oh, there we go. Timmy's finding and killing a Moho there. That'll be good. See Nick down into, I believe, 100. So actually, Timmy, that did bring Timmy a bit close again. So we're at 90 to 100 in metal production, but I think the total still heavily relies in Nick's camp. 8,000 metal up. But actually, he might have 8,000 metal just in wins alone. So, nice job by Timmy right here. He's going to come in. Oh, it's a shame he drove that down there, because otherwise that would have been able to take that out. We can see our Reapers. Now, Reapers and ProTA are direct fire, so you can see they are busy. Oh, wait, no, are they direct? Did I lie? Yeah, they're direct fire. So you can see they're just shooting straight. Fast velocity, good at taking out stuff like that. Decently tanky. Decent AoE. Really, I found that I think levelers are better stumpy crushers, though. Another force coming in on the left side. Nick's Panthers are hanging out over there. And now Nick is switching to Bulldogs. Bulldogs, you get one or two of them, they're not so great. You get them in a pack and they're nearly unstoppable. Levelers, Raiders, and Reapers. Not your typical OTA units. And Stumpies. Did I mention there are Stumpies? Stumpy Factory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Stumpy Factories guarded by multiple cons. In ProTA, the build range is increased over OTA. And so you can see we can get more than one construction unit. Nick has gone air. Pushing out some air cons. Timmy's also air. He's got his bombers ready. And there they go. Timmy putting up another Viper. All those bombers go. Might be a little raid bombing, actually. That is enough bombers to wipe out Mohos. See, he's off-screened him. Flies back on. No air cover. Goes to bomb a Geo that's not there. Bombs a Geo right as it gets done. And gets 2 Geos for his trouble there. And we have now locked things up at in the middle. Lots of missile towers by Nick. Now it's actually going to be pretty tough to get through this. Nick likes to do this where he just builds missile towers towards you. He doesn't particularly care about losing the cons or anything like that. The objective is just slowly but surely gain territory. Lots of metal to reclaim in the middle right here. It looks like only Nick is interested in it at this point. He's got his air cons down there reclaiming it. Timmy in 140 to Nick's 190. Nick has fully recovered from Timmy's excellent raid earlier, except for that one poor metal spot in the top right. And Nick is building advanced K-Bot and more advanced vehicle to augment his massive Stumpy horde. In case you were thinking this was not enough Stumpies, Mr. Coolnick believes that is in fact not enough. See the Reapers just tearing into the Stumpies right here, but here come the Bulldogs. They're indirect fire, decent AoE, decent damage, very tanky tanks, and they are doing work. A bunch of advanced factories here for Timmyfred. He has not gone advanced air. He doesn't seem too concerned about that right now, and Nick is just hosing out cons. He's also protecting his investment with missile towers there. And you can see he's also building more missile towers here in case of air over that hill. He's got missile towers there as well as flackers. He's in decent shape against air raid. Timmyfred, on the other hand, looking awfully open to anything air. Pop-up laser tower is starting to do some shredding. Brings the units in to cover for them. That's very worthwhile. You want to draw your opponent into where your static defenses are. You can see Nick's army quickly evaporates. Timmy's now cranking out Reapers, and Reapers. Going fusion. He still doesn't have all his mohos capped, whereas again, Nick is fully mohoed up on the top side. It's a decent sized force of Reapers right here that Timmy's got pushing in. Nick doesn't look like he nearly has as many. Again, just way more advanced factories. 5 advanced factories from Timmy, building more air. There we go. Now Nick's really starting to crank. Nick's already got a moho hip on the front line there. Heavy laser towers, rows and rows and rows of missile towers. Nick is ready to defend. And the attack, Timmy's gaining ground here with his Reaper force. He's got more Reapers coming in to reinforce, looks like about 5 at a time. They're going down a little faster than that. Nick's able to defend against the push. You can see right there that did carve a little bit in. Sweeping him across, taking... You can see how fast those missile tower rows go down compared to some serious beef. Timmy's fusion is up. Moho Metal Maker up too. He's got it currently turned off, managing his energy resources. And Nick is going Phoenixes, Advanced Bombers and Hawks. He's got his Farks going. He is fully advanced there. He's committed to the late game. It looks like Timmy at this point still wants to win it on the ground. He's using his Moho team. There you go. Now he's finally using multiples. So he was doing what Nick was doing about 10-15 minutes ago. Lots of pop-up laser towers. And he's got bombers ready. There they go. Nick's got a fusion up, building his own Moho too. More flackers to protect himself. Bombers fly on down over the hill. Right as Timmy's starting to push right up the middle here. Gets near the edge. Comes back on screen. Finds absolutely no air defense down here. Timmy says GG. That is probably the correct assessment based on that. He says, I've got nothing for it. He has absolutely nothing for it. Nick has totally free reign. He doesn't even have any fighters or anything like that. He quickly destroys Khan's building flak. Takes out another fusion. His resources are toast. You can see his push still gaining ground ever so slowly. You know, this tells me a little bit, oh, what could have been if Timmy had some air defense back there. Is he slowly but surely gaining ground? Nick looks like he's kind of got him. Yeah, the bombers are just going to town. Timmy sets the game speed to 10, and he goes ahead and surrenders. Victory to Nick. Bombers in the right place at the right time. Claim victory for Down Under. Good job, Nick. Timmy really showing what you can do there to stop the infinite Stumpy wave. You don't need missile towers. You just need a handful of laser towers and some serious beef, and that slows things down. Nick way ahead on the metal production there, but that kind of goes without saying when you build a gazillion winds. And Nick just really got those mohos capped faster. When it comes to these, choky kind of maps, getting those mohos up and running really can make or break your game. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that. And if you guys want to play ProTA, we are currently playing this game. This game happened pretty recently, I think just a couple months ago. So if you want to join in on the fun, we got some new players too, so you don't have to come in and play against Nick or Timmyfred right away. You can try your hand to get some other folks who are also learning. So it's been really fun over on TAF. That is Total Annihilation Forever, and I also just have to pimp Axel, aka Arglist's work on that because it is incredible. So there is now a live replay. So if you are just join in and you're on TAF and you see somebody's playing a game, as long as you have that mod or version installed, you can just pop right in and watch it. The Total Annihilation Forever will also automatically download maps for you as long as they're in the vault. So you can join in even if you don't have the same kind of stuff that everybody else does. You can get all of the cool things that you need to play ProTA and Escalation on Total Annihilation Forever. So make sure you go check that out. Show Axel some love as he has been doing the Lord's work when it comes to producing an excellent client. So hopefully we'll see you guys over there. The other thing you can do, of course, is make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as hitting like. Leave a comment too and let me know if there's anything you think I missed or if there's anything in particular you want to see. As we are currently making new content, as in people are playing ProTA and Escalation. If there is a new game that you see on TADA that you want, you can find me on the Total Annihilation Universe Discord. You can send that over to me, and I will get that. I'll take a peek at it and see if it's worth getting on the channel too. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will catch you around next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.